You enter Division 2 at 106 pounds.
A battle here at 113 pounds. Hunter Marko, a 26-1 sophomore, state champion a year ago, and Taylor Elliott, a 41-1 senior from Prairie du Chien, Wazeeka Steuben. He's from Prairie du Chien, and a quick takedown from Hunter Marko just 15 seconds in. Marko pinned Elliott to claim the title last year. Marko finishing his freshman campaign at 47-2. Marko so tough. A sectional champion. Beat Jason Clapper of Lodi 12-1. And then a tech fall against Dylan Mickey of Wrightstown last night. Hunter Marko is all about scoring points, and he puts them up quick and in bunches.
Yeah, he sure does. And he can score from every position. He's good up top, he's good on leg attacks, he's got a really, really good front headlock, he's got great shot defense, and then when he gets on top, he can score a ton too. So he's good everywhere. He's the complete total wrestler. In on the leg again. And you see how he comes right up, working to a finish, doesn't hang out down underneath. There's a leg scissors.
Marko state freestyle and Greco champion. A couple years back was a USA Wrestling Triple Crown winner. That is folk style, freestyle, and Greco. Won a freestyle national title, another one in Fargo this past July. Just as talented as they come, ranked nationally.
Yeah, and there he is on a front headlock coming around here for another takedown. And last year he won his title at juniors. He was a second-year cadet but wrestled juniors, and he just wrestled freestyle. Was battling through some bumps and bruises and had a long summer of training and ended up just wrestling freestyle, and it was really nice for him. I think he had one of his good training buddies, Jens Lantz, who we'll see here in a little bit, and they worked out together. They went out to Fargo together, and it was really fun for them, and they're good family friends too. So for them to be able to be on a team together before Jens is all done was fun for them. And he was a national champ last year and out 5-1 here, just kind of cruising.
Minnesota Christmas Tournament champion, one of the tougher tournaments in the country here in the Midwest, of course. St. Croix Falls Classic champion, Middle Border Conference champ, regional and sectional. Bottom line is when Hunter Marko's there, he knows that top perch, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's right. And he came in here last year as a freshman, and I think that his from the northwest part of the state, we had all expected great things of him, but he came down here in the Kohl Center, and there are some people who talked about some other individuals at 106, and he just walked through the tournament at 106, and now at 113, I don't think there's any question. The people who are picking their winners before they circled Hunter was one of the first ones.
And Taylor Elliott, very talented wrestler in his own right. He was 6th as a freshman at 103, qualified as a sophomore. And as I mentioned, a runner-up falling to Marko last year. Elliott, bi-state champ, Monroe Invite champ, Swole SWC champion, and a regional and sectional champion as well. So I like it with Taylor Elliott. I'm sure all year long he's been thinking about Hunter Marko a lot.
Oh, I'm sure. The thing too is there's still a lot of wrestling to go here. 5-1 here. Hunter Marko has the lead, and not to take anything away from Elliott's efforts here in this match, and going to give him the chance here to continue, but it's just sometimes a guy gets stuck behind somebody who wins a couple titles, and he doesn't have his name in the back of the program or isn't as memorable, but gosh darn, he has some really, really good credentials. Taylor Elliott's one of the top guys in the state.
Once upon a time, there was a guy from Wisconsin Rapids, Justin Tritz. He was pretty good. I think Tritz could have won a state title, but there was a guy named Kevin Black who was in his way and caused some problems.
Yeah, he didn't win one.
You look at a guy like Joe Terrell. I mean, Joe Terrell had Garrett Lowney.
Right. Yep.
Joe Terrell.
Garrett Lowney and Sean Agee.
In Wisconsin high school wrestling.
Yeah, I wrestled for the Badgers, national qualifier, and placed out in Fargo. But you're right, he was not a state champion, and I think Taylor Elliott is a good example of that, where he wins the bi-state, and he's one of the top guys in the state, but he's behind one of the top guys in the country. So nothing to be ashamed of for sure, but just the way it shakes out sometimes.
Elliott's pinned Luke Schroeder of Rice Lake in the quarters, and then in the semis 4-0 over East Troy's Cody Vogel. So Solid run here by Elliott, and when you look at this bracket, no doubt about it, especially after last year, these two really on a collision course.
Yeah, and I believe, I mean, and I watched Taylor Elliott last night, and I think that they're in a class, a whole different level right now in Division II at 113, and maybe even in the entire all three divisions. I think that maybe these two are just a head and shoulders above the rest, and you know, that's definitely something for some of those underclassmen to come back and work for. Guys like Vogel, who is just a sophomore, and you know, I think that they can maybe try to get into that echelon. Elliott, he will be graduating. Hunter Marko will be back, but you know, these two guys are kind of in a class by themselves. And it's 8-2. Hunter's got a bar in. You know, he's just so diverse. On top, he's got so many tools too.
8-2. Hunter Marko 2 minutes away from his second state title. And Elliott with the choice, he'll go neutral. Smart move. Don't want to go on bottom, and got to put yourself in the best position for success, and that's what Elliott's doing, choosing neutral.
Right. Yep.
Underhook
Nice
to a
shot.
nice shot there. And now the key here for Marko. Can he drive across, able to dump Elliott to his hips, tack on two more for the Amory sophomore. Was talking to his father, Scott Marko, who's also the head coach at Amory. I said, if you can, take yourself out of the father's seat and just talk to me as a coach. What impresses you about Hunter? He said, you know what? It's his love for the sport.
Yeah.
Today when the doors open, who's the first guy in the mats warming up? Hunter Marko. There's a lot of training trains with you. I know I spent some time in the past at Pinnacle in Minnesota with Lawrence and Paulson. He's a
gym rat, yeah. And I, from a coaching standpoint, I know that like Scott said, he just loves wrestling. But then from the technical standpoint, is he can make adjustments in a match to fit the style that's needed. And you know, Elliott came both up and come out, and here he got to an underhook and was able to get to a leg attack.
And you look at Hunter Marko on top with that pressure. Just got a stalling call on Elliott. You look at Elliott, heads on the mats, draining him mentally and physically. And we talk about it in wrestling, it's you impose your will on a guy, you break him, and I think that's probably happened.
Yeah, and there he called potentially dangerous. That was almost the same position that Hunter used last year, and from that arm bar to the half last year, that was how he ended it last year in the finals. So I think he was looking to go right back to that and throw that half in.
43 seconds, Marko up by 8. Pinned Elliott last year to claim his first title. And another workmanlike, convincing performance up to this point. Caution, bottom man on Elliott. 3 cautions, a point to your opponents. That's something we'll talk about, Kevin. I wish guys would get more cautions. You got 1 or 2, and you got a couple to give. When you're on bottom, you want to get an edge. What do you got to lose? Guys ride you like a dog. Take a chance.
Yeah.
Please report to the award staging
Just
area.
suffocating on top.
Yeah, and like I said, he's so good on top. He's good in every position, but he's so deceivingly strong. We look at him and he's not, you know, his muscles aren't bulging out of his singlet or anything, but I look at these two, and Taylor Elliott's got a nice build, but Hunter, he's so strong.
An escape makes it 10-3, and that will be the final score. Hunter Marko, 2-time Wisconsin state champion. 10-3, Marko over Elliott. Amory sophomore, your Division II state champion at 113 pounds. The 71st annual WIAA State Individual Wrestling Championships here on Fox Sports.
Attention all soccer moms, former athletes, and sports fans everywhere. It's time to get back in the game, baby. This is Dick Vitale of ESPN asking you to get off the couch and out of the stands. Get back in the game. Become an official. Your local high schools desperately need umpires and referees. It's a great part-time income, and you get back in the game. It's awesome, baby, with a capital M.